Buying things just because they're on sale or because of an urge to have them right away rarely feels like a problem at first. But over time, belongings pile up, space starts to feel tighter. Money quietly drains away, and many of those items are barely used. They don't make life easier. They slowly create a sense of clutter and loss of control. I used to think buying more would make life smoother and my home more comfortable. Yet, after every round of tidying, there were always items I didn't know where to put, things I couldn't let go of but never really used. That constant feeling of too much was exhausting and made me realize the issue wasn't organization, but the shopping habits that came before it. In this video, I shared 12 simple tips to reduce unnecessary spending, save time and money, and keep your living space lighter. As possessions decrease, the feeling of "this is never done" fades too. Up next is one small tip that can quietly change how you spend your money. Tip number 1. Creating a monthly budget isn't really about control, it's about orientation. It's the difference between moving forward and simply reacting. Without a clear sense of where your money goes, each expense feels separate and the month slowly slips out of focus. A budget works quietly in the background. It doesn't need to track every detail or account for every possibility. It only needs to answer a few steady questions: what matters, what needs care, what deserves space. When your money is divided with intention into daily living, rest saving, and the unexpected decisions, feel lighter. You stop second-guessing each purchase because the boundaries are already there. I began budgeting at a moment that felt confusing rather than urgent. My income was stable, nothing was wrong. Yet the month always ended with a sense of pressure, not because there wasn't enough money, but because I couldn't see its shape. Once I started assigning my income into simple sections, something shifted. Even when surprise expenses appeared, they no longer felt like failure, just part of the landscape. What's often misunderstood about budgeting is the idea of restriction. In reality, a good budget gives permission. It lets you spend without the quiet anxiety of wondering what it might cost you later. Enjoyment feels cleaner when you know it has a place. Clarity with money has a way of spreading. It moves into how we shop, what we keep, and what quietly weighs us down. In the next video, I'll share a few things worth letting go of so both your space and your finances can breathe a little easier. After setting up a budget, the next quiet but powerful step is paying attention to where your money actually slips away each day. Not the big purchases you remember, but the small ones you barely notice. The delivery fee added at checkout, the app subscription you forgot to cancel, the random convenience purchase that felt too small to matter. These expenses don't feel serious in the moment, which is exactly why they accumulate unnoticed. I began tracking my spending when I realized my money wasn't disappearing dramatically, it was dissolving. A few dollars here for shipping a monthly app I might use someday, a handful of small add-ons that never triggered guilt. None of them felt like a problem on their own, but seeing them written down together felt different. It wasn't shock, it was clarity. I finally understood why my budget looked fine on paper but still felt tight in real life. Tracking expenses isn't about judging yourself for every small purchase. It's about becoming aware of patterns that operate quietly in the background. Once you see them, you stop feeling confused or vaguely uneasy about money. You're no longer asking, "Why does this feel off?" You already know. More than the numbers, what tracking gives you is calm. When every expense has been acknowledged, money stops feeling slippery. You're no longer reacting, you're choosing, and that awareness naturally carries over into how you shop next, especially when emotions try to take the lead. Here's a habit that feels harmless at the moment but costs more than we expect. Ever find yourself shopping just to feel better? Emotional shopping is one of the most expensive habits, often leading to waste. When you shop to fill an emotional need, whether it's loneliness, stress, or even happiness, you tend to buy things that aren't necessary. Rather than addressing the core emotional issue, you end up creating more financial problems. Emotional shopping might give you temporary comfort, but afterward, you'll regret spending money on things you didn't really need. I've been there too. After particularly stressful days at work, I'd find myself scrolling through online stores as a way to cope. One time, I bought a purse just because it was on sale, thinking I was getting a good deal. But when I got home and looked at my collection, I realized I already had enough purses. That moment of regret taught me a valuable lesson. I wasn't shopping because I needed it, but because I was using shopping as a way to handle my emotions. To break this cycle, I decided to shift my approach. Instead of reaching for my credit card when I was feeling stressed, I began to take walks, read a book, or engage in other relaxing activities. These alternatives not only helped me unwind, but also allowed me to save money. I became more in control of my spending, knowing that shopping wouldn't resolve my emotional challenges. Once you realize that emotional shopping doesn't truly solve your problems, it becomes much easier to resist the impulse to spend. You begin to see that you have the power to manage your emotions in healthier ways without turning to your wallet as a quick fix. This shift not only helps you feel more financially secure, but also empowers you to make better decisions about your spending. This tip is about sales and how urgency can make decisions feel smaller than they should be. Sales don't just lower prices, they quietly change how time feels. When something is ending soon, or only a few left, your brain stops asking, "Do I need this?" and starts asking, "What if I miss it?" The purchase isn't driven by desire or usefulness anymore, but by a subtle fear of loss. You're no longer choosing the item, you're trying to escape the discomfort of letting it pass. I noticed this when I caught myself feeling uneasy, not excited while shopping for a sale. The product itself wasn't important. What felt urgent was the countdown, the last chance banner, the idea that this opportunity would disappear if I didn't act now. Once I named that feeling, the pressure softened. I didn't want the item, I just wanted the tension to stop. Most sales aren't actually rare. They return in cycles, just with different words and colors. The urgency is manufactured, not personal. And when you step out of it, something shifts. Missing a sale stops feeling like a loss and starts feeling like space. When you stop treating discounts as deadlines, shopping slows down. Decisions feel calmer, quieter, and more yours. Now that you've avoided unnecessary purchases during sales, it's time to review your subscriptions and cancel those you no longer need. Another small habit that quietly affects your money is something most people never really think about. Some of the easiest money to lose is the money you never actively spend. Subscriptions don't ask for attention. They don't interrupt your day or make you feel like you're buying something. They just exist quietly in the background, charging you while you're living your life. No decision, no moment of yes, just money leaving on autopilot. I realized this when I saw a charge I didn't even recognize, not because it was small, but because I hadn't chosen it in months. That's when it clicked. The problem wasn't the amount. It was the absence of awareness. These services weren't part of my life anymore, but they were still part of my budget. Canceling them felt less like cutting back and more like taking something back. Nothing in my daily routine changed, but my finances felt lighter, cleaner. There was relief in knowing that every dollar leaving now had my permission. Money shouldn't disappear while you're not looking. When you remove what runs quietly in the background, you stop living on autopilot and start spending with intention again. Now that the background leaks are gone, it becomes much easier to slow down and choose more carefully before buying anything new. Another helpful approach is learning to save through real everyday moments by paying attention to how other people make small decisions, not by following strict rules or motivational advice. Before joining any saving-focused group, I assumed I already understood the basics. Spend less, save more, avoid impulse buying. None of that felt new. What I didn't realize was how isolated my financial decisions were. Every purchase felt like a one-time choice made in the moment without context or comparison. If I wanted something, I decided right then yes or no and moved on. That changed after seeing one simple post in a group. Someone shared a rule they quietly followed: wait one full day before buying anything non-essential, even if it's inexpensive, even if it feels urgent. No budgeting app, no tracking, just a pause. I didn't think much of it, but I tried it. That same week, a few small things sat in my cart. An organizer, a discounted household item, something that felt useful, but not necessary. The first night, the urge was still there. The second day, it wasn't. Not because I talked myself out of it, but because the feeling had passed on its own. That moment created a clear before and after. Before, spending felt automatic. After, it became observable. I started noticing how many purchases were driven by timing, mood, or convenience, not actual need. Seeing others share similar experiences made those patterns easier to recognize without judgment. What surprised me most was that this wasn't about discipline or motivation. No one told me to be better with money. I simply borrowed a lens from someone else and used it briefly. That small shift slowed my decisions down, just enough to let clarity show up. Being part of a saving community didn't push me to save more. It helped me react less. And once spending becomes quieter, the next habit naturally follows: learning how to choose more carefully before money leaves your hands. One tip that many often overlook is taking the time to thoroughly check a product before buying it. This isn't about being overly critical, it's about making an informed decision. Every item you bring into your home involves not just your money, but also your space and expectations. While impulse purchases may seem harmless in the moment, the regret you feel when a product doesn't meet your expectations often creeps up later. Checking a product goes beyond just glancing at its price. It's about reading the product description, understanding its specifications, comparing prices across stores, and especially reading reviews from other customers who have already used it. These simple steps provide a clear picture of what you're actually buying and help you avoid the disappointment of receiving something that doesn't live up to its promises. I learned this lesson the hard way. I once bought a blender because it was advertised as powerful and affordable. At the time, I didn't take the time to read the reviews or compare it to other models. When the blender arrived, I found that it didn't work as promised. It was weak and overheated quickly. I had to pay for return shipping, which only added to my frustration. That experience taught me that quick purchases are rarely the best deals. Since then, I've made it a habit to slow down and thoroughly check the details before making a purchase. Now, I feel more confident and less anxious when I'm waiting for deliveries because I know I made an informed decision. More importantly, I rarely face the regret of thinking I should have checked this better. Shifting to thoughtful purchasing not only helps you save money, but it ensures you're buying products that truly meet your needs, contributing to long-term savings and fewer returns. Next, once you start being mindful of your purchases, try utilizing discounts and rewards programs to save even more. Let's talk about discounts and rewards when they help and when they quietly push us off plan. Discounts and rewards can be great tools, but they can also trick you into buying things you didn't plan on purchasing. The key is to use these offers for items you actually need rather than being drawn in by the idea of saving money on something unnecessary. Coupons only truly save you money when they're used for products you've already planned to buy. Instead of letting discounts drive your shopping decisions, prioritize your actual needs first. A helpful question to ask yourself before using a coupon is, if there wasn't a discount, would I still buy this? If the answer is no, then it's likely not worth the purchase. For example, I once saved nearly $50 using a 30% off coupon for a vacuum cleaner I had already researched and planned to buy. The coupon made it an even better deal. However, I've also been tempted to buy items I didn't really need just because a sale was about to end. These impulse purchases didn't save me money. Instead, they cluttered my home and added unnecessary expenses. Using discounts wisely ensures you're genuinely saving money, not spending more just for the sake of saving. When you use coupons or loyalty rewards in a thoughtful way, you'll feel empowered knowing that your spending is controlled and aligned with your financial goals. After using coupons wisely, consider taking a closer look at your eating habits to cut down on unnecessary spending. Let's dive into a simple change that can have a big impact, reducing dining out and focusing on simple home-cooked meals. You don't need complicated recipes or strict diets, just the ability to control what you eat and how much you spend on food. Dining out can seem convenient, but the costs quickly add up. A lunch here, a coffee there, and before you know it, the total amount spent on eating out is far higher than you realize. When you cook at home, not only do you save money, but you also eliminate those small, repeated spending decisions every day, which can drain your budget without you even noticing. I started by making small changes, bringing my lunch to work a few days a week. At first, it was nothing elaborate, just simple, easy-to-make meals. After a month, I realized I had saved over $150 without sacrificing flavor or nutrition. More importantly, I didn't have to spend mental energy each day deciding what to eat since everything was already prepared. It made my days feel more relaxed, and I no longer felt rushed or stressed when lunchtime came around. Cooking at home also made me more mindful of my eating habits. I found myself enjoying the process of preparing meals more and paying closer attention to what I was putting in my body. This helped me feel more in control of my health and my finances. Saving money in this way isn't about restriction, it's about the natural result of living slower, more intentionally, and more purposefully. As you get used to making meals at home, you'll notice it also influences your view of other things in your home. You'll start to realize that not everything needs to be replaced with new items when you already have enough, and this mindset will extend beyond food to other areas of your life. Now, let's take that mindful approach and apply it to how we manage our purchases, especially when it comes to fixing things instead of replacing them. One simple yet powerful tip is to repair items before rushing to replace them. Often, things around the house aren't beyond repair, they just need a little attention or a small fix. Repairing not only saves you money, but it also changes how you perceive the value of your belongings. We often default to buying new because it's quicker and easier, but taking the time to repair things can extend their lifespan and reduce our reliance on constant shopping. Thanks to the abundance of repair tutorials available online, you don't need advanced skills to fix many household items. With just a few basic steps, you can restore things you thought were beyond saving. For example, I once thought my old blender was no longer usable. Instead of buying a new one, I decided to replace the blade and clean the machine thoroughly. To my surprise, it worked like new and saved me about $70. The best part was the satisfaction of knowing I didn't rush to discard something that still had value. Repairing items changes your relationship with your belongings. Instead of treating them as disposable, you start to see them as valuable, long-lasting companions. Over time, this habit will encourage you to find more ways to save money and reduce waste in your daily life. By adopting this mindset, you'll start to notice other areas in your life where simple fixes can lead to big savings. One often overlooked but highly effective way to save money is by utilizing public services. Libraries, parks, and community activities offer significant value without the cost. These resources allow you to enjoy your free time and unwind, all while avoiding financial strain. For example, instead of spending money at expensive entertainment venues or indoor play areas, I often take my kids to the local park. They love running around, staying active, and having fun, while I don't have to worry about ticket prices or overpriced food and drinks. Spending time in the park feels just as fun, if not more so, because there's no time pressure or extra costs involved. Public services highlight that entertainment doesn't always have to be tied to spending money. Some of the best experiences come from simple activities: an afternoon spent reading at the library, a stroll through the park, or participating in a local community event. These experiences not only save you money, but also bring a sense of calm and connection with your community. By regularly taking advantage of these services, you'll begin to appreciate the value of what you already have. It can also lead to better habits at home, like taking care of your belongings and spending less on unnecessary items. This mindset shift can help you save both money and energy while still enjoying a fulfilling life. And finally, it might seem like a small tip, but it has a significant long-term impact. Turn your clothes inside out before washing them. This simple step helps protect the fabric, preserve color, and minimize wear and tear over time. When you turn clothes inside out, the main surface of the fabric is less likely to rub against other materials. And details, like printed patterns or buttons, are better protected. This helps your clothes maintain their shape and color longer, preventing them from fading or getting worn out too quickly. I've made this a habit for years, and I've noticed that my clothes last much longer. Shirts that I wear frequently still look good after multiple washes without losing their vibrancy or shape. This has saved me a lot of money, as I don't feel the need to replace clothes as often. Taking care of your belongings in this way helps you save money quietly and effectively. You don't feel like you're restricting yourself or cutting back on your lifestyle. Instead, things last longer and you end up needing to buy less. This change in habit has improved my financial situation without any complex effort. It also reflects the overall mindset of these tips. It's not about making life harder or depriving yourself. It's about making life simpler and more manageable, both financially and emotionally. By applying these simple habits, you can take control of your finances and reduce stress. From budgeting to tracking expenses and avoiding emotional shopping, these steps help you make smarter choices while staying within your limits. With small intentional actions, you'll feel more in control and confident about your financial decisions. I understand managing money can be tough, but these tips are here to make your life easier, not harder. They allow you to enjoy what matters most without guilt. If you're ready to simplify even more, don't miss the next video where we'll cover essential decluttering tips for women over 50 to prepare for success in 2026. And if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe, and join us on the path to a more organized, stress-free life.